Your Bestie in Freight. I am your host, Lida, and this is a show where we bring real stories from the people building the logistics industry. And before we get started, I want to quickly shout out my sponsor, Digital Permit Book. They are helping carriers simplify compliance and keep their fleets moving. And today, my bestie in freight is Jennie Abarca, founder and owner of King Fio Trucking. What started with one truck has grown into a thriving logistics company serving the Port of Los Angeles and Long Beach rail yards across California. Jenny also is shaping the future of trucking through innovation and sustainability, including her company's investment in Tesla Semi. So I'm so excited to have you here, Jenny. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you for having me.
So let's go back to the beginning, right? Before
Okay.
King Fio Tracking existed, who was Jenny Abarca and how did you first get into tracking?
I started in trucking a very long time ago, early 2000s, and I worked for a family friend who had a trucking company. I was still in college, and they had an unexpected death in their family and needed help at their business. And so that's kind of where I started working in trucking, and I loved it immediately. It's the kind of industry where either you get in there and you love it and you can deal with the stress and the pace and the people and the problems, or it's not for you. And it happened to be for me, and so that's where I started. And at some point, the family decided to sell the business, and so when they sold the business, I went with to the new company, and it was a bigger company, and that's where I really learned. Sorry, my kids are here, so everyone's out of school, so you might hear little elf voices. It's kids. So I went to a bigger company, and that's where I really learned how to be a trucker. And I
Mhm.
stayed there for quite a few years. And there I met my future husband. He was a truck driver, and we bought our first truck around 2012, 2011. And that was really where King Fio started. I had no idea that it would grow into something. We were just trying to buy a house and make ends meet, but we kept taking whatever revenues we had and putting it back into the business and buying more trucks. And so now I'm a fleet of 36 trucks, and I
Mhm.
have 21 Teslas on order. So hopefully a fleet of 50 soon. I might dismantle some of my older diesels, but yes, we are slowly growing.
I love it. So did you get any Teslas yet or are you still waiting?
Not yet. Mine are in the. I think I'm just gonna get my build slot. So mine are in the process, but I've put in my order. I have
Mhm.
my grants all lined up. I've been to Tesla. I've been to Sparks, Nevada, to their manufacturing site, and I'm very excited to get those on the road because I think they are the answer to the diesel engine. So very excited.
Well, I'm excited for you too because you are the first tracking company owner I am interviewing that is gonna have Tesla. So I want to learn everything about it. But
Okay.
yes, but before we dive deep into Tesla and how you advanced, let's remember your first truck back in 2011.
Yes.
What was the experience? What model it was? And did you ever imagine to grow this way?
Sure. Our first truck was a Freightliner, not a Cascadia, Columbia, and it was $80,000.
Mm-hmm.
It had a DD15. We named
Yes.
that truck 8081 because my husband was born in 1980 and I was born in 1981.
Uh-huh.
And we were in that truck constantly. That was definitely his home for the first couple of years, and when I could go with him, I would. And we retired that truck just a few years ago. I think maybe 2 years ago,
Wow.
when the ports kicked out um, the 2010 and older engine models. So we retired it a few years ago. We mainly have bought Freightliners. We do now also own two Peterbilts, but I also already have electric trucks. So I have 11 electric trucks in my fleet, seven Volvo VNRs, and two Nikola TREs. So we've already started transitioning the fleet to zero emissions.
I love it. Yes, I remember on back camera conversations that you had this electric. So how is the experience? Do you like it?
The electric trucks,
Yes.
love them. Yeah, they're great. It's like you just get in the truck and go. It's nice.
How,
Drivers really like them. We're still kind of like tied down by the range. I think the most we can get out of a Nikola is about 250-mile range,
uh-huh.
but they work great. They're dependable, very little maintenance, and just trying to save the planet one truck at a time.
I love it. And how long does it take to charge?
So it just depends what kind of charger you put it on. We are not slip seating the electric trucks right now, so we don't need to do a fast charge.
Uh-huh.
So we are charging like 3 to 4 hours on a slower charger, but we do have the option of charging quicker if we needed it. We just don't have the need right now. So about 3 to 4 hours.
Yes, that's not too bad because I also
No.
drive electrical car. That's why I was asking. That's
Yeah.
similar. Even these smaller trucks are like that. Because you guys are operating local, right? So you don't like do long haul with these electric.
No. Well, we go to Vegas, Utah, Phoenix, but those are still moving in diesel engines. I do plan to use the Teslas for that when we get them, but we're using the electric trucks for port adjacent deliveries and for lots of land bridge where we're bridging the land between the terminal and the rail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that might be nice not to spend money on fuel for the
Right.
cost.
Well,
Yes.
I'm a drayman, so all I move is ocean containers, and so the electric truck is a great truck for the drayman because a lot of those deliveries for ocean containers are in and around the port.
Mm-hmm. Jenny, what was the hardest season in your business journey that nobody sees on social media?
Um, the pandemic was really hard on me. I think I aged probably like 20 years. I had a newborn baby. I got pregnant again right away.
Mom, are you pregnant?
No, buddy, I'm not pregnant. And so during the pandemic, I was pregnant, had a young child, and then had another baby, and I worked the whole time. So that was very hard. As a business owner, you don't get your 9 weeks off. Like I got no, I worked the day I went into labor, so for both pregnancies. So that was really hard because as a mom, you have a lot of mom guilt and you feel like you're not doing enough, but you need to do this because this is what feeds your family. So you're like constantly in this tug of war. And I think also just having Jenny time. There's things that I like to do. I like to go to Pilates. I like to exercise and run. I have the most amazing group of girlfriends that I've had for 25 years. I like to go see them. My parents live in another state, so I like to go visit them. So just being able to like manage my own life and the things I want outside of being a business owner and definitely being a present mother because trucking is an industry that takes so much of you, like it needs so much of you, especially drayage. Drayage is very specific, lots of computer detail. And so the last, 4.5, 5 years, I've really brought a team in and have developed them, mostly women. And that has really helped me because I can let them do a lot of the operations and I can sit back and do things with you, work in my son's TK class, work in my daughter's first grade class one day a week, and then hopefully fit in a run somewhere in there. But definitely just like juggling it all because whoever said you could have it all was full of.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you sharing the raw, and you are a rock star mom, and I can relate to
Yeah.
your story so much because I also got pregnant during COVID. I think that was
Yes.
the time that a lot of
I think a lot of us did.
Yes, your baby is probably 5 years old, like mine.
Yes, yeah, he's
I
5 years old.
I took my computer actually to have a labor. I had my
Yeah,
baby Thursday. It was an emergency C-section, and I just rested Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hope God, I guess, knew that I need 2 days break after
right.
C-section, and Monday I started to work. So I can relate to this so much. But that's a part of life that doesn't represent in social media. So it's amazing to share the stories. And Mom Guild, of course, is real, but we're doing our best. And now you're having a podcast with your kids. I
Yeah.
also go to industry events with my kids. So
Yes.
thank you so much for being so honest and sharing the real story.
Thank
And
you.
you mentioned that you bring 99% women in your company, right? I would
I'm sorry, that I what?
You bring women in your
Yes.
company to
Yeah.
work. Yes, please
Yeah.
tell me more about that. And I love that you supporting women, and I would love to know more.
Right. So, um, growing up as a young woman in the trucking community, I just noticed there weren't a lot of girls. I really was the only girl that I knew of that worked in the industry for many years, and then I started to see more and more women come in. So when I go to hire, I try to find a woman. I try to find a mom if they are a mom because I think that the attention to detail is great. When you're a mom, you need your job. You need to be able to pay for kids, and you take good care of your job because that's what helps feed your family. So I find that for me, I like employing women. I like employing mothers. I think they're just better employees. They stay with me, lots of loyalty there. So the women that work for me have been with me for a very long time, or I've known them for many years in the industry, and at some point in time, they just are looking for a job or looking for a new opportunity, and I bring them on. So I really like hiring moms. I understand that if you need to leave at 3 to go see your child's choir performance, I'm fine with it. If you need to work from home one day because someone has a cold, I understand. So yeah, they help me be a better mom, and I hope that I'm able to help them be a better mom.
Thank you so much. From all of the moms out there doing it for
Yeah.
us, it is
Thanks.
just takes one mom at a time, right? And
Yes,
wish more
exactly.
companies, yes, I wish more companies understand how hard it is to be a mom, business owner. Also, as you say, doing what makes you happy. But
Correct.
I would love to ask, was there a moment when you thought about quitting, and what kept
Oh
you?
yeah. Um, the last 3 years have been very, very hard in trucking. I mean, we've been in a very deep recession. Um, and I think what people don't realize is when you're a small business owner, I personally guaranteed all my trucks. And that's a lot of stress. um, and so when your business is in a downturn and I don't have an investor, all I have is the revenues that I make from my company. And so when you're in a downturn, it can get very depressing. Lots of hard decisions to make. Personally, we liquidated a lot of assets to keep things rolling. I definitely thought I should maybe sell. But this was even just a conversation in 2025. Maybe I should sell the business, but I stuck with it. I ended up hiring a very good CPA, and he sat down with me and he said, the next 6 months are going to be hard, but we're going to get on the other side of it. And so we made some changes here that helped, with cash flow, helped me lower my expenses, some hard decisions too.
Mhm.
And I'm really glad I stuck with it because I am seeing the market come back up. I'm
Mhm.
also seeing a lot of excitement about EVs. I mean, diesel being $7 a gallon is a great argument for driving an electric truck. So I'm starting to see a lot of attention over the EVs, and so I'm so happy and excited for the next, 4 years. And I'd love to make some money because I haven't since no 2022. So it would be nice to make some money and take care of my employees, get some new equipment on the road, make sure I can buy my 21 Teslas, and keep the King Fio story going.
Yes, I love it. And Jenny, what was one business decision that felt scary at the time but ended up being one of the best decisions? I mean, you mentioned about CPA, but there was anything else that you would love to share?
Sure, I think we started behind the fence charging, and I'm still on the fence on whether it was a good decision or not. So we actually have started building, we started it 3 years ago. We have built 10 dual chargers in one of our yards. So that was a big investment. We had to get a yard with a 10-year lease. That was
Mhm.
very expensive, and I'm just coming to the end of it. And that's going to make the electric trucks much more affordable for me because my cost to charge will go way down because I will be charging myself. So
Mhm.
that was a decision that was it's still hard, but I think I'm going to reap the benefits of it. And I think just opening the business in general, I did not want to open a trucking company. I wanted to go on vacation. I wanted to work for somebody and then go home and have my life. I wanted to not get sued because no matter what, when you own a business, you open yourself up to liability and lawsuits. I wanted to not be worried about accidents and people getting injured, containers getting stolen, equipment getting destroyed or stolen. And so was very hesitant to open the business. And I actually had a customer who's still a customer today kind of push me and say, "You can do this. I'll be your first customer. You can open this business." And so I'm very glad I did because I don't want to work for anybody else. I'm a boss, so I know that now about myself, and I'm glad that I get to be a boss.
Yes, I love it. That first customer is the most memorable one, right? They
Yes,
just gave you
yes,
this hope and confidence. I had similar situation that this customer was giving me opportunities 4 or 5 times that I couldn't find a truck, and eventually I found. Until now he is supporting me, giving most of his projects. I'm very grateful
that's
for
great. Yep.
that. Yes.
Mhm.
And that's so interesting that you shared. So you wanted to be an employee after becoming a business owner. Now you understood that you are not an employee, you are a boss of
Right.
the
I'm a
business.
boss.
Yeah. So what would you, yes, I love it. I was the same way. But what would you share? Someone who is a lady and employee and they think that they cannot do it, or maybe like deep down in their heart, they have this like passion that maybe they will own their business. What would you advise them?
I would say it's a lot of hard work. So I pretty much all of my 30s, the tail end of my 20s, all of my 40s to my mid 40s, I gave to my business.
Mhm.
And I look back and sometimes that makes me sad because I just went to Paris for the first time and I'm just starting to travel for the first time. So I gave some of the things up that I might have done as a young woman
Mhm.
to be a business owner. So you have to be willing to make the sacrifice. If you are willing to make the sacrifice, the next thing you have to do is get tough. You need to have balls of steel because there's no one else to make the final decision. You're going to make the final decision. And the last piece of advice is just try, just do it. You know what? Even failure, you learn something from it. And so I would say if that is your goal, if that's what you want, get yourself out there, start small, start something scalable, and put everything you have behind it, and you're going to be great.
Thank you so much, Jenny. This was so amazing. And if you were starting over today with one truck and no customers, what would you do first?
Ooh, what would I do first? I
Would you
don't
go to
know.
load boards or would you prospect shippers? Would you go visit them? What would you do?
I would probably start electric.
Mhm.
I think it's harder to change. I think if you just started electric, you have kind of an edge.
Yes.
I would definitely go to a company like Amazon Relay. There's so much freight there, even for containers. For a small carrier, one or two trucks, you can really have a profitable business from that. I don't even want to think about starting over again because that does not sound fun. But yeah, I think there's in 2010, 2011, the internet is not where you went for work. Work was from relationships and people you knew and people you met in the industry and from having a good reputation. I think you can go to the internet now and get a lot of work on load boards and things like that that can help you get started. So that's kind of exciting.
Mm-hmm. That's true actually, and the goal is to eventually get direct customers, right?
Right.
So, Jenny, you have created opportunity for many women. Again, let's talk about women. What strengths do women bring to tracking and logistics that often get overlooked, other than being multitasker and hard workers?
Right. I definitely think attention to detail.
Hmm.
Women have an eye for detail. And in transportation, especially drayage, you are juggling so many balls. So you are juggling appointments at the terminals, you are juggling appointments with the customer, you are juggling, um, equipment availability because we need equipment, chassis, etc., to go pick up at the port. You're also juggling drivers and juggling the return of that equipment back to the port. So there's so many things that go into pulling a container out and actually delivering it to the end customer. And it takes an eye for specifics. It takes very good communication. And I think women tend to exhibit all of those traits. Um, I also think that there's a softness to the female voice, the female written email that maybe you don't get with a man. Sorry, guys, it's just how I feel. Yeah. So I think it's a great, logistics and women are a great match.
These are all great points, Jenny, and I absolutely agree with you. And I want to inspire more women to get into
Yes.
logistics and bringing someone like you, amazing woman, succeeding in logistics. So thank you so much for sharing all the great insights. And
Yes.
other than electric trucks, and of course, hopefully field pricing and rates go up. What one thing happening in tracking right now that excites you?
That excites me.
Yes.
I think that trucking has been kind of like behind technological advances.
Uh-huh.
And what's kind of exciting is that technology has hit trucking. And so, with that comes change, and sometimes change is hard to embrace. But I think the new technology coming out with trucking is awesome. Alternative fuels, AI, I think these are all things that we can embrace and can make the logistics community stronger. There will always be a need for a body in a truck, right? A robot doesn't know how to change a tire. A robot doesn't know, oh, you can cut this way. I've been this way before. I can cut around all this traffic and get somewhere quicker.
Mm-hmm.
A robot doesn't know how to navigate black ice. I mean, not yet. So I think we will always need bodies in trucks, but it's really exciting to see the technological advances coming into our industry.
I agree with you because I feel like logistics is a little bit old school yet. Some
Yes.
companies still using fax machines, but
Yes.
we also love seeing the advancement. So
Right.
5 years from now, what do you want King Fio Trucking to be known for?
I definitely want to be known as a leader in zero emissions. I have made a goal. This was made in 2023 to be net zero at 2030. So that's, 4.5 years away. And so I am really looking forward to hitting that goal. Definitely, I need policy behind that. Maybe a little bit different political climate behind that. But I'm in a special place. I'm in California, and in California, we've always been very climate forward. And so I'm very excited to transition my fleet and be one of the first. And that's what I want to be remembered for. I live in the beautiful city of Long Beach. I am from Los Angeles, born and raised. So the quality of life in LA County, in Long Beach City, means a lot to me. My kids go to school here. I live well, right by the Pacific Ocean. I grew up by the Pacific Ocean, so I want to see beautiful, clean oceans with a beautiful blue sky. And so I really want to be remembered for showing, like, I'm a nobody. I'm not backed by anybody. I'm just a girl who married a truck driver and bought trucks. And I want to show that anybody, no matter if you're small and an owner operator or you have a fleet of 100 trucks, you can start to make the change if this is important to you.
Yes, one truck at a time, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, that's amazing mission, and I support you with that. And talking about again tracking companies, I just love my sponsor. I have to mention because I think what they
Sure.
are doing is amazing. Digital
Sure.
permit book. If you are still dealing with paper permits and compliance headaches, you are making your life harder than it needs to be. Digital permit book helps carriers stay organized, compliant, and ready for inspection. So please check them out at digitalpermitbook.com. And Jenny, are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Coffee or energy drinks?
I'm sorry?
Coffee or energy drinks?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee? Okay.
Yeah.
Decaf or caffeinated?
Caffeine or.
Decaf or caffeine?
Oh, no, caffeinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Freight broker or dispatcher?
Dispatcher.
Favorite track stop?
Favorite car type?
Track stop.
Okay. Hey,
Track
guys, turn your
stop.
iPads down. Sorry, the kids are still on. Favorite what?
Track stop.
I don't know what you're saying.
You drove with your husband, right? And you saw different track stops.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Let's move on the
Yeah,
other
I don't
one.
know.
Most underrated state to drive through.
Most underrated place to drive to?
Yes, as a
I would
truck
say
driver.
San Diego or Santa Barbara. Yeah, it's
One
beautiful.
word. Yes,
Yeah.
one word that describes Jennie Abarca.
One more thing about Jennie Abarca.
One word that describes you. Yes.
You guys, turn your iPads down for me, please. I'm having such a hard time hearing you. One more what?
One word
Oh,
that
that just.
describes you.
Okay. I would say fun.
Fun. I love
Fun.
it. If King Fio Trucking was a movie, who would you play? Who would you play? You.
If my trucking was a movie, Jennifer Aniston.
I love it. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing your story and started with one track has become something much bigger. And I know your journey is going to inspire a lot of people, especially women,
Thank
and
you.
where they can stay connected with you.
I have a website. You can post my email address if you want. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Thank you so much for everyone listening. And if you like this episode, please subscribe, comment, and share with someone who might also get inspired. And Jenny, thank you again for joining. This was amazing.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.